I'd like to introduce you to a home or start page called Symbaloo. Now, what a home or a start page does is it's simply the page that opens up when you start your browser. The one that some of you may well be familiar with is one that's called NetVibes, and this is my NetVibes homepage. You can see links through to various bookmarks, a news search, information from the BBC News, the option of looking at the weather, for example, another website, and so on. There are also various tabs along the top of the screen, and I can look at different kinds of content as I wish to. Now, that's a very traditional kind of home or start page, but what I wanted to do here is really talk to you about Symbaloo. It's a very simple, straightforward option. It's called, as you can see, Symbaloo, symbaloo.com, and you can also have various tabs. It looks, in some respects, I suppose you could say, if you wanted to be a little bit cruel, it looks a little bit noddy with the fairly large widget options in front of you. But nonetheless, it does do a really interesting job, and it's one that I think might be of interest to some of the libraries out there, or people who want to share the information that they have available. It's a very simple tool to use. The way in which it works is if you want to add a new tile to a Symbaloo page that you've got, simply click on the option to add a new tile, and then you can either search for a tile or you can create a tile. I'll choose to create a tile, and so I type in the address of the website. I'll go to addictomatic.com. I can add a name to the site, and I can then choose the color of the background tile. And I can also decide if it's going to be a website or a news resource and so on. But I'm happy with what I've got. I'll also choose to show the text, and that's what will be added to my Symbaloo page. I can then click to save that, and then the page is now added. If I wish to, I can go back and edit the tile. So let's click on edit, and this time I'll choose to upload a slightly different icon, and there are a number that you can choose, but they're not desperately good, so I've got one that I've already created, and I can upload that. I can choose how much of the tile I want to be chosen, so I'll use that selection in the tile, and I've now got my tile, and click on save, and there we are. If I then click on that, I'll go off directly to that particular website. If you're interested in a news feed or RSS, if you prefer, those are really simple and easy to do as well. The way that they work is that when you click on those, you will get the news coming up into the middle of the screen here, and you can then have a look through that. So really simple and straightforward to do that. The way in which you can do this, again, you add a new tile, and I'll create a tile, and this time I'll do a feed for my own weblog. And we've already got that there, so I'll add that in, and I will now say that this is a news source, and let's change the color, so a nice orangey RSS type. I can now click to save that, and that will then be added into my page, and clicking on that will then load the most recent weblog that I have. So you can see a whole list of them there. Now, you can use this privately just for yourself, fairly obviously, but what you could also do is you can create web mixes, that's what Symbaloo call them, and you can share those with other people. So here is a page that I've already created on different search engines. So you can see all of the green ones are your basic search engines. I've got 4 RSS feeds that I've chosen. Obviously you can choose the colors that you want. Some social media search engines, some Twitter search engines, multimedia, and so on. When you've created your set of tiles, and it is worth saying that you can create more than you can just see on the screen there, you can add in more tiles as you need to. When you've got that, you can choose to share the web mix that you've got. So if I now click on share, it's telling me that my web mix is published. I can get the details on it here, and I can choose the name for the web mix. I can give it a description, some tags. I can choose to share it publicly or privately with friends, and I've got the URL for the web mix as well. If needs be, I can post details on that to Twitter and Facebook. But if I just copy the code that we've got here, and there's also an embed code, so you can embed that somewhere else. If we choose to go to a new page and I add in the address here, I'll now get to see the web mix, and here it pops up on the screen. And so it's a really easy tool that I can share with other people. If you already have a Symbaloo account, you can add that web mix to your own account as well. So this is really helpful if you want to very quickly produce a variety of different links for members of your library or people that you're working with in a particular project, for example. It also means that you can link directly to websites, you can link to individual RSS feeds. So I'll go back to my original set, and if I want to, I can click on the search option, and that will appear on the screen. So I can search the net, images or maps, and I can choose from a fairly wide variety of different search engines. And of course, in this case, since it's a search engine page, I can choose any of the different search engines there that I would like to. So Symbaloo is a very quick, easy resource to use. It's very visually attractive. It's very simple and straightforward. And if you want a very quick and a very basic home or start page, it's certainly worthwhile having a look at. So that's symbaloo.com. Thanks very much.